Oh my
All right.
God. That could be our first piece of merch that we sell to the fans.
Johnny McNuggets.
McNuggets. Johnny McNuggets.
The future of the Jets.
Oh man.
Welcome to Three Cranky Jets Fans. I'm Joe Close Marone, and here with me, as always, Trisha Close Marone and Matt Callahan. Today we are talking about our reactions to the Super Bowl. We're going to talk about the Aaron Rodgers news and what's next. First, Trisha, what's up? How are you doing?
I am well. Yeah, all is well. All is well. It's been a very long week. I feel like the Super Bowl was a year ago. It's just been a lot. I don't know. Is it still January? It feels like January.
No, it's February.
Yeah.
But
No.
it's been a long year.
It's the halfway point of February.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that happens every year where like January is crazy and long and then February is over by the time you realize it's February. But no, yeah, all is well. I'm happy the Eagles won. So there's that.
Yeah. Matt, how you doing?
Yeah. All right. Not bad. Can't complain.
I don't know. We're not sure if this is going to show up in the recording, but there are two dogs draped on Trisha right now, and they are fully snoring. Both of them. And it's pretty distracting to us, but my goodness.
I love it.
It's hysterical.
It's so funny.
When we finally do go to video, I'm sure they'll make some appearances, but that time is not now. All right. Well, the dogs are doing great. They're getting their seventh nap of the day, something like that.
Yeah. Joe, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Trisha and I just went out to a nice Valentine's Day dinner. It's been a long week, so it was nice to get out and ready to just talk about some football. How about you guys? Ready to do it?
Football.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Dogs are not ready. They're snoozing. They're going to snooze through the whole thing. All right. Let's talk about the Super Bowl. Where, like Trisha said, we are happy for the Eagles. Happy about the outcome. But I thought that game sucked. The Eagles won 40-22 over the Chiefs in an all-out spanking. Trisha, on our last episode, you pretty vehemently advocated for an Eagles win. What are your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I was there. I mean, I think it was like midway through the third quarter before the Chiefs scored. So I was a little bit disappointed because I was hoping for a historic moment in which we had a Super Bowl with a 0 score. I actually didn't even check to see if that...
she wanted the spanking to be even worse. That's right.
I just wanted it to be like, I wanted something to feel historic about it. Like, oh, I watched the Super Bowl when there was a 0. I tell my great-grandchildren, that was my grandmother voice right there. I was there. So, yeah. I mean, the commercials were okay. The snacks were pretty good. We had a shrimp cocktail this year.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, that was nice.
It was fancy, right? Thank you.
That's fancy.
I feel like I stepped into my 40s this Super Bowl. I was like, we're gonna get a tray of shrimp cocktail. So that happened. Sorry about the dog. I hear him. Yeah, no, it was fine. It was fine. I'm happy for the Eagles. The game was boring.
Yeah.
I wanted a Saquon touchdown, but I didn't get it. But it seemed like the Chiefs had planned just to defend against Saquon, and that was it. Nobody else.
Yeah, and they really didn't seem to make any adjustments. The one thing I was looking forward to watching was Saquon having a baller ass game.
That's what I wanted. But I'll take the win and everything else.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. I'm happy for the Eagles. Side note, like, what the heck is up with Eagles fans?
That's their MO.
What do you mean?
Well, they've
I
always
don't
had
understand.
a reputation for, being a rowdy bunch, but there were several reports of looting, vandalism, and assault on police officers after the win in Philadelphia. I was very concerned for the state or like the city of New Orleans and how they would leave it, because there were a bunch of Eagles fans in attendance. It was like primarily Eagles fans. And I was like, oh, they're going to just destroy New Orleans. It's going to be Hurricane Katrina too. But Eagles fans, instead, they went and ruined their own city. What's up with that?
It's just a bunch of hoodlums. It's just a bunch of West Philadelphia, born and raised. You know how Fresh Prince of Bel-Air goes. It gets sent.
Well, Trisha was born in the Philly area.
Oh, I did not know that.
So I'm calling out her technical hometown.
Westchester, Pennsylvania.
Says so much.
I was born. Both my brothers are big Eagle fans. They are happy. Yeah.
They didn't tear down the city or anything.
They didn't tear down the city. They did not. Not that I know of, at least. I
can see Peter getting out there and
taking his shirt off, just ripping off his shirt.
That's who they grease the poles for in Philly.
50-year-old white man with like a half-shaved chest. I've got a great brother, by the way. I don't know.
Does he have it shaped like an eagle?
He probably should.
Maybe he does now.
I called him on Monday. I was like, I just want to say congrats on the game. He's so sincere and genuine. He's like, thank you.
we played hard.
Yeah.
It's a tough season, but we got through it.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens next year.
He has like a little press conference for you.
Yes. Oh man.
Any other thoughts on this game? I know I really took a shot at some Eagles fans, but
I don't think you did.
A spanking.
There was a spanking, like really. I mean, it used to be that Super Bowls were like that pretty regularly, but it's been,
I did not expect it.
Probably the better part of a decade since we've had one that was that big of a blowout. I think Seattle versus Denver was the last time there was that big of a lopsided event.
At one point, I texted my friends watching that it was like they had secretly replaced the Chiefs with the Jets for the first half. And let's see if anyone else noticed.
Listen.
Yeah.
Because it was like their offense was like the Jets, like just 3 and out.
Yeah, couldn't do anything. Sack.
Oh, so many sacks.
Sackety sack.
Pick 6.
Matt, I'm a little jealous right now. You're texting other friends.
Oh, yeah.
Snarky things about the Jets.
I do have other. I pick and choose who gets the snarky Jets comments. I'll send them to you, send them to them.
All right.
Depending on who I think will like it better.
Well, just keep that in check this time, okay? I want all your snark all the time. Oh, man. Yeah, there was a lot of like the next day I woke up and there was a lot of hubbub about the halftime show, and I still don't understand what the hubbub is. Does anybody know, or we just let that go because nobody actually knows?
This was the first time where I genuinely didn't know any of the music. I knew of Kendrick Lamar. I knew he was a famous rapper, but really the only thing I knew about him was that he has a beef with Drake, whose music I also don't know. So I don't know. I didn't get it. I heard, there was lots of like, I guess metaphor or commentary in the show, but it theatrically, it wasn't all that.
It fell on deaf ears.
Yeah.
I danced.
I didn't.
Matt, do you know some information we don't know?
I don't really know too much, just what Joe said. And then I was like, is that Serena Williams? And that was it.
Wait, Serena Williams was there? I totally missed that.
Yeah.
No, you thought it was
Serena or Venus?
Moesha. It was Serena.
Serena.
I thought it was Moesha.
Oh my God.
That's not her real name. What is her?
Joe was like a bunch of drinks in by the time he dropped that comment.
I forgot about that.
It was not
What's her
real.
name?
Brandy, that's right.
Yeah,
yes.
memory is working.
Moesha. It was Serena Williams. We can name some football players, but pop culture
lacking a little bit.
Lacking.
All right. Well, Super Bowl happened on the same day. There was some big news. Matt, what do we got from the Jets?
We have Aaron Rodgers is out.
Oof.
I'm not exactly sure. Like, they haven't figured out exactly how he's out, right? But it's official or something.
So the Jets flew him into town, and I guess they had a conversation with him. Aaron Glenn and Darren Mujian. According to Diana Rossini of The Athletic, she said, who I happened to go to high school with, apparently.
Wow.
I didn't know her, but I do remember her. And
call her up.
She said that they essentially gave him an ultimatum of, it's gonna be our way. No Pat McAfee shows, and I forget what the other ultimatum was, essentially. But like, that's the way it's gonna be. They're kind of take it or leave it, and ultimately they ended up saying we're gonna move in a different direction. So it's officially out there. The Jets have already posted and thanked him for his service, quote unquote, and.
For his service, was he like a military member?
They didn't actually say that.
Thank you for your service. We gave you $35 million. Wow. Or I don't know how much money he got. A lot of money.
So they'll incur a $49 million salary cap hit for him in 2025, even if he's traded or released.
Yeah.
So that's not great.
Wait. Why don't they just keep him on the side? $49 million? Just let him sit there and help the other guys.
Won't that still count?
Yeah, it'll still ruin the
salary,
the cap hit and the salary even further down.
I'm so confused.
My understanding.
I don't understand.
The way it's all set up is weird, but it's actually worse than that.
Mm. But wait, there's more.
Yeah. Well, so the Jets may decide, because there's also next season, if they don't keep him, another $14 million cap hit, I believe. Actually, it might even be more than that if he's released. If he's traded,
why can't we just keep him? Why can't we just let him take up space on the sideline?
It's still a cap hit either way, right?
Yeah.
It's not like, they release him and this is what happens. They get a cap hit.
And somehow I think it gets moved down the line if he does stay with them. And it's also a sense of like, we're trying to move in a different direction. We have this new regime starting. We don't want this guy who's got kind of his hooks in the offense and is not willing to learn new tricks, run things, right?
Yeah,
we're trying to come in and change the culture from a coaching aspect. And this is kind of, an anchor weighing us down, right? Do we want to sacrifice a year? We're already in cap hell and can't really get that much better just to give Aaron Rodgers another shot? Or should we try and instill some new blood here?
Plus, if they keep him and then they have another newer quarterback, you're going to have all season of like, anytime that quarterback throws an interception,
Mm-hmm.
They're going to show Rodgers sitting on the sideline sulking or whatever. Like it would just be awful the whole season. There's no point. Like just dump him and that's it. Move on.
What do you guys think he's going to do?
I honestly don't know. There are some options out there. He might go to the Raiders.
What about
I don't know.
Davante
He might decide to retire. He might go back to Green Bay.
Devontae?
No, that's not happening.
No. But what about Davante Adams?
Oh, if Rodgers goes anywhere, Davante Adams is going to try to go with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I don't think Davante Adams is back.
As Jets fans, how do you guys feel about the loss of Davante Adams?
I'm indifferent.
I mean, indifferent. It's not going to... It all depends on who's throwing the ball anyway.
Yeah. It's a interesting situation.
All guaranteed in life is change.
Deep.
I mean, I don't know. This Enigma movie just comes out. I kind of start developing a soft spot for Rodgers, and then just poof, gone.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll buy a T-shirt.
I wouldn't have been totally opposed to keeping Rodgers on, but I also get what they're doing, and with the cap situation being what it is, and they're losing a bunch of players potentially on the defense. I don't know. It seems like it might not be like the greatest year coming up. So it just kind of makes sense to move on now.
At least there'll be no building optimism or hope in the preseason.
Yeah.
I'm
sure they'll hook me somewhere.
Yeah.
They'll get you again.
I'm not come out.
I literally, like, the thought just crossed my mind as Joe was saying that, like, yeah, he's finally got his feet on the ground. Like,
now on February 13th, want to wait to see like what date you like go back. They get your hooks back in you.
Be wearing like a Johnny McNuggets jersey day one.
Johnny McNuggets. Did you just make that name up?
I did. Quarterbacking for the New York Jets in 2025. Johnny McNuggets.
He's cracking himself up.
He's won 0 of 36 games in high school and college.
I'm all in for Johnny McNuggets.
That's a jersey I'm gonna buy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that could be our first piece of merch that we sell to the fans.
Johnny McNuggets.
McNuggets. Johnny McNuggets.
The future of the Jets.
Oh man. Is he a 00? I feel like that's his number.
I guess so.
I don't see him in your list of free agency and veteran options, Joe.
Oh, he's a deep cut.
Deep.
Oh my gosh.
Speaking of, we should probably take a look at those guys.
Looking at that list, and all I can say for most of it is, well.
I mean,
I'm okay
Tyrod
with
Taylor's.
I've always liked Tyrod Taylor, but it seemed like as I go down the list, I was just like, oof.
Kirk Cousins, huh?
Yeah, that was the first oof for me.
Oh yeah, Sam Darnold. Come on.
That's not
I
happening.
don't mind him.
I know. Wait,
that's not happening. Like
there's no
Russell
way he's
Wilson.
leaving the Vikings. There's no way he's leaving the Vikings.
Even if he does, he's not coming back to the Jets.
No,
He'd be
get out of
stupid.
here. Get out of here. Russell Wilson, huh?
Ugh.
I don't think that's happening either. I think the Steelers are going to keep him. Even though, like,
Matt, why the ugh?
I think he's kind of past his prime now too.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I feel that. I think like Pete Carroll kind of like masked a lot of the issues with him too.
It was that visor.
That visor, man.
It's got the power. I don't know who Justin Fields is.
He is. He was the quarterback for the Bears, and traded to the Steelers So he was backing up Russell Wilson last year, but he started the first 4 games and won all 4 of them. But I don't know. People are still excited about him a little bit because he can run, but not the most accurate passer. And I don't know. Personality might be a thing. I'm not too sure about him.
He's an explosive playmaker.
Supposedly. Wrote somebody on the internet.
Didn't he and Russell Wilson have a fight in the preseason?
Yeah, they did.
Like a fist fight?
Yeah, well, Justin Fields said something snarky to Russell Wilson during
You're
during
old.
camp.
You're a has-been.
Something like that. And I think Wilson actually like punched him. But he had his helmet on, so
yeah, it's one of those.
Like it was there was a big
slap fest.
Big thing.
Wow.
Big scrum on the
helmet
field.
Slap fest. It feels like it really hurt your hand.
Yeah.
I mean, it was surprising because that means Russell Wilson does have emotions. I thought he was created in the same computer lab as Matt. Or maybe a competitor.
I think that was like back in the late 70s when computers were first just coming out. So those kinks, you know.
Yeah. Russell Wilson is a very early AI.
Yeah.
I am quarterback.
I run on like
Let's
digital
ride.
tapes and
Go Hawks.
Transistors.
I think if we plugged an Atari into that, he would spark a little something.
I'm sorry. I grew up in an Intellivision household, not Atari.
I don't even know what that is.
It was an early competitor.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
so we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. When will we know?
Well, I mean, Tyrod Taylor is under contract for another year with the Jets, so I mean, they'll probably keep him and give him a chance to start. He'll at least compete for the job. And they also have what's his name, Jordan Travis, who they drafted last year in I think the 5th round, and he was recovering from a broken leg.
Oh,
but he never recovered enough to make it through like a full practice. So I don't know what their thoughts are on him.
That sucks.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they'll keep him on. You got to have practice squad guys too. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with him. They may draft another player.
Who is Jameis Winston?
Oh, Jameis Winston. He was the guy. Do you remember hearing the story about a QB who stole a bunch of crab legs from Publix in Florida? That was him.
That's him.
I was like, I know that name. Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting. Yeah. What's he doing?
Mostly preaching.
He'd be a great disappointment for the Jets. I think that
perfect for the Jets.
He would be like a wildfire.
Yeah,
someone who steals crab legs and then goes off preaching.
Really weird pregame speeches.
Yeah,
I don't know if he still does, but he's
all glory to God kind of stuff.
And this weird like W thing that he does.
I don't even know that.
I just remember seeing one where if you Google it, you'll see him doing something where he's like, I don't know. He's like pregame talking to his team and he's doing something weird, like shoving each finger in his mouth and licking it and then like to make a W.
I thought you were saying he had like a lisp.
No. He was like, and then like the rest of the team is just like staring at him like, who is this guy?
I kind of hope this happens.
Like it was like several years ago, whatever his first team was. It might have been his rookie season too. Like just Google it.
Oh, I doubt he's doing that anymore.
I hope not.
But he would be just like cannon fodder in New York.
Oh, it'd be awful. The papers would be all over it. It would be
Marcus Mariota?
An even bigger dumpster fire.
Marcus Mariota?
He was drafted the same year as Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
And roughly as successful.
Did he get the wings?
Less problematic. It's much quieter.
What did he steal? And then the last free agent is Teddy Bridgewater. What do we know about Teddy?
He was backup quarterback to what's his name? Patrick Mahomes going into the Super Bowl. He signed with them in the postseason, but
wow.
I believe started out with the Vikings, broke his leg there, and then kind of like worked his way back-ish.
Yeah,
he was starting quarterback for them.
I kind of liked him, but I also think he's just
very average.
Done.
Very average. There's nobody exciting on this list. Let's be honest.
Mm.
And if they were, why would they want to come to the Jets? Especially this season coming up where they're not going to have anything.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. So, we went into this season thinking, we've got something here. This could be the moment. And so maybe, just maybe, in a wasteland of nothingness, but names like Jameis Winston and Teddy Bridgewater, maybe there's something for us.
No. So you're already trying to get the hooks right back at the job.
We
haven't even made it.
We've got a core group of young guys here.
It's like black magic. No, it's really like black magic, right? Honestly, okay, if having hope crushes you, then having no hope maybe means something could happen. Low expectations.
Did you know that if the Jets quarterback drought were human, they'd really be starting to ramp up practicing driving a car and dating?
Could you please expand?
They would be a teenager. 14 going on 15.
I don't know. What does that? Who a quarterback goes? Where does that go back to then?
What's that?
Well, where do you have it as the Jets not having a quarterback drought? Who was the last?
Oh, quarterback drought is
isn't that what you were saying?
An endless
Yeah.
sea. No, then you're talking about a middle-aged
you meant
man.
The playoff drought.
Playoff drought.
Okay, that's
no. He said quarterback drought.
Okay, that's why I was confused.
Oh, is that what I said?
I think they're more ready for retirement, but
yeah, no. The last quarterback we were excited about was Mark Sanchez.
It's fun.
And how long ago was that?
Yeah, but he wasn't that good.
2008.
I'm trying to think of who was the last quarterback.
Chad Pennington.
That's who I'd go to as the last quarterback that I was like.
Vinny Testaverde was great.
Vinny T was good. Yeah, true, he was. But he wasn't.
I don't know if anybody was excited about him, but
no, he was good. But he also had the same thing. He got hurt first game too. So that kind of.
Who was first, Vinny Testaverde or?
No.
Oh, that was 2008.
I'm trying to get the age of our quarterback drought, baby.
Let's go 75.
1975.
No, 75 years old.
75 years ago was the last time we had a good quarterback?
Well,
Namath.
The only really good one was Namath.
Yeah. And he had one good year. One great year.
But that's all I'd need.
Yeah. So how many years ago was 1969? 68,
oh my
69.
gosh. I can't do math like that right now.
Alexa!
55?
55.
All right, middle-aged. Going into the silver. Oh, Alexa's trying to answer me.
Oh my gosh.
Alexa, stop. She thinks I asked about the Middle East.
You may as well have. What are we even talking about? Let's. Should we? Are we done with this conversation? Should we talk about what's happening next in the season? What happens next?
Yeah, what does happen next?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anybody have any answers? Dogs.
I'm laughing at the dog. Is the dog drinking?
Yes.
They're up and drinking now. Yep.
This is
Anyway,
the worst.
I can give. I have a prediction of what's next for the coming season, and it's like it's pain, more
like
pain.
Ivan Drago. Pain.
Yep. That's the Ivan Drago prediction again. Pain.
I mean, do you think they're gonna like let us stay in the league?
Unfortunately,
The Jets are going to convince the NFL to create a relegation.
Yeah, that might actually
system
help the Jets, but
yeah.
So that won't happen.
Relegate them to the UFL.
When
beat the
do we
piss
know?
out of everybody?
I'm not going to entertain these answers. When do we know about like where we're at in the draft picks and stuff?
So, well, we know our draft position now. Currently, the Jets own the 7th overall pick in the first round.
Who got the first?
The Titans. I don't know. There's lots of talk about what the Jets might do to maybe move up to the first pick if they really wanted to, but
how does that
even
work?
second, you have to trade.
Trade
So
what?
You trade
Players.
Trade your first. You could trade players, picks, future picks.
What?
Yes.
Very rarely
Future.
money. Yeah, so it would likely cost like we're going to give you our first round pick this year, our first round pick next year, a second round pick, and a third round pick, and maybe a player. It costs a lot. It's usually not worth it.
It feels dirty. It feels like a dirty system. I don't like that. It's like a bunch of dudes sitting around a table like, all right, let's make our deal. I'll give you my soul and my grandmother's jewelry. That's what it feels like.
That feels like a bargain for most of these guys making the trades. Like, oh, I only have to give you my soul? That's worth nothing to me.
All right.
It means I'll get the player I want.
Yeah.
That's great.
Joke's on you. We have no soul.
I'm already in hell. I work for the Jets.
Right.
One soul for Jameis Winston and his wings.
Crab legs.
Crab legs. I don't know why I thought they were wings.
All right. So to your question, as far as like the draft goes, probably after the combine we'll have a little bit more of an idea of what the Jets are thinking. And I think that comes up like mid to late March. So yeah. So that's pretty much it. It'll be a little quiet for a few weeks, I think. The new league year I think starts next month, right before the combine or after, I can't remember. But
what do you guys think the players are all doing right now?
Are sitting on a beach,
golfing, relaxing,
hugging their children.
Maybe
going.
Making
some of
new
them
children
going to Disney World, probably with the Eagles.
Is that a thing?
They send the Super Bowl MVP to Disney. So I think Jalen Hurts was already there.
They don't do those commercials. I saw because I saw a thing the other day. Like one of the Giants was taking his kid to Disney World the day of. He didn't realize it, but it was the day that the Eagles had their parade and the MVP had their parade, and he was like, he was all set to go take his kid to see the Disney parade, and then he saw it was.
That's hilarious. Oh man. I actually saw something that the best day of the whole year to go to Disney is during the Super Bowl.
That makes sense.
I was like, wow, that's fascinating. I don't have a desire to go to Disney, but I think if I knew there wasn't going to be anyone there, I might want to go. So we'll see.
Yeah, and you could still have like a whole day there. Get back to the hotel room by 6:30 and you're good to go.
Right.
The gist of the video that I saw where it was empty was during the Super Bowl. It was like dark out. I'm not sure about the whole day, you know. But whatever, man. I'll
if
miss
it's a
the
Super Bowl like this last
year.
one, then
yeah,
it's kind of worth it.
I mean, just 1 year, if you don't really care about who's in it or whatever's going on, it might be worth it. But anyway, all right. Well, that's what's next. What's next for the podcast? What do we got?
What is this, by the way? Quick. What is the Quinnen Williams displeasure?
Oh,
what did he
I
voice
forgot about
displeasure
that. So, I mean, like, a bunch of players for the Jets came out and were kind of fighting for Rodgers, and after it was announced that Rodgers was being dropped by the Jets, Quinnen posted on whatever social media, I'm not sure, like a thumbs down, and then was like, I guess it's another rebuild for me. And then he deleted all his social media accounts.
Brutal.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's exactly the kind of thing that Aaron and Darren Muji are going to try to, like, rein in. It's tough with these, these players now. They're all over social media, and
well, I mean,
I get it where he's coming from.
It makes sense. It's no lies detected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Also, like in some, you're allowed to have an opinion.
You know how you rein that in is you just be a better team, like win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and stop making these short-term decisions. I feel like them letting Aaron Rodgers go is fine, but like we don't have a clear path out. There is no clear rebuild. Like we could have gone 1 more year with him. I don't think it would have been the worst decision ever. He wasn't horrible. There was some other stuff going on,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he got injured a little bit here and there, and
he's going to be a year older.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any point in keeping him anymore.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know.
It just feels like
we don't know.
A constant rebuild. It's the constant rebuild.
Yeah, that's because they're terrible. That's why.
And ultimately, like, Woody Johnson has to let the people who know ball work without getting impatient and changing his mind midway through, I mean, give him an appropriate amount of time to see a plan through before interjecting an opinion and saying, you have to take this guy, or, something like that. And just let it play out a little bit more. You don't know what you're talking about. Like, just let the football guys do the football thing. And I think right now, with the way they've got things set up, that is the approach. Like, Woody Johnson has at least taken the steps to hire the people that make sense to run things that way, right? They brought in Rick Spielman, who will be, senior football advisor to Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn. And that's the first time they've kind of had that situation in place for a long time, rather than having them, just kind of run free and wild and then report to him. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm sure there is a master plan in place, but we don't know what it is.
I don't think there's a master plan.
Let's see how many people we can drive to the brink. That's the master plan.
All right, that might be the only plan I would agree that they've had and been executing for years.
We need to fill up the loony bins.
Oh.
Does Johnson & Johnson sell any
I'm sure they do.
Produce any like antipsychotic pills or anything like that.
I'm sure
Yes.
It's all a ploy to sell more
pills, more pills.
mood stabilizers and anti-crazy pills.
Maybe that's what Aaron Rodgers will get to the bottom to now.
Yeah.
A new
All
therapy. Right. A new therapy by Johnson & Johnson.
Any other closing thoughts?
No.
I'm going to go join the dogs in the snooze fest. The snorzing.
Drink some water and snorzing.
That's it. Oh, yeah, I'm going to drink some water and I'm going to snores.
Their commentary was very appropriate.
It was.
Yeah.
They had the last commentary about the Jets season.
Boring. Can't keep it up. I'm getting...
All right. Well, let's get out of here. That's going to wrap it up for this episode of Three Cranky Jets Fans. Thank you for sticking with us through this one. That was a wild one. If you did enjoy this episode, please hit subscribe and leave us a review. It helps other Jets fans find us, helps the show. Don't forget to follow us on social media. We are more active on Facebook, the Three Cranky Jets Fans fan page. We really post a fair amount and respond to most of those comments, so reach out. We will be back probably, I'm thinking after the Combine, or maybe when the league year ends and trading begins, or free agency begins. We'll recap anything at that point. But, or
if anything exciting happens in the meantime.
If anything exciting happens in the meantime, yeah.
Which
until then. Oh, sorry. Which will be nothing.
It will. It'll happen. It'll happen.
All right. Well, if anything fun does happen, we will be back to recap it in the coming weeks. Until then, keep the faith, and as always, go Jets.
Go Jets.
Go Jets.